Hey there, if you're new to the channel and you want to learn everything there is to know about living in New Smyrna Beach and surrounding areas like Ormond Beach, Edgewater, Port Orange, Ponce Inlet, you've come to the right place. My name is Matt Ecoff. I'm a local real estate expert. I'm joined by Lori Rochelle today at Fidelity Title, and we're here to share everything from the best neighborhoods to the hottest spots around town. Listen, I get phone calls, emails, text messages, Zoom invites every day from people just like you wanting to move to the beach. So whether that be in 2 days, 20 days, or 200 days, please don't hesitate to reach out. I would love to help you move to the beach. Please make sure you hit the like button and subscribe so you get all notifications and updates about everything New Smyrna Beach and surrounding areas. I'm with my good friend, Lori Rochelle. Lori runs Fidelity Title in New Smyrna Beach, right on the North Causeway Bridge. We've probably passed it in one of our videos. We have a video on all of North Causeway with Playa Sisi and Buena Vista Shores, and Lori is right there in the middle. Lori knows everybody in New Smyrna Beach. We see each other also all the time. Actually, I'm gonna plug some clients that were here. Jim and Alani were here a couple weeks ago from New Jersey after watching my videos, came down, and we're driving over to Heather Avenue, and we passed you. You're walking, going to the beach for the day. So you're gonna see Lori all around. If you live in New Smyrna Beach or you move here and let me help you buy a place here, you're going to see Lori. So I got some questions today about some title questions and things to move. Lori's a plethora of information. She also was a very successful real estate agent before she got in here. So Lori, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Matt, and I'm so proud of you.
Oh, thank you.
If you did decide to work with Matt, he's amazing. He does his homework, and you would love living in New Smyrna Beach. It's amazing.
Great. I'll pay you later for saying that on camera. No, Lori's great, and I wanted to have her come in because we don't do a lot of interviews, and honestly, I make introductions after we go under contract with some things, and I realized, the other day that I haven't made these introductions on camera, and so you guys know me when you call me, when you text me, when you email, when we get on Zoom all the time, you're like, wow, you really are this person in real life, and I really am, and I hear all the time from you guys, oh, I know a lot about you, but you don't know a lot about us, and I thought, well, why not know a lot about Lori as well? Why not know a lot about Faith? Why not know a lot about Paula, people that we work with, Paul Shotwell, the inspector? So let's start doing a little bit more interviews. So that's what today is. So I'm going to grill you today. Okay. I gave you a list of questions. I changed them up all last night to throw a curveball. So we're going to go right into it. I wrote them down because I wanted to be specific with our time today. So let me just tell you what our goal is. Our goal is to explain title insurance, the closing timelines, common elements, and maybe some issues that people go through with title, because we all have them, and every one that we think is going to go perfectly smooth ends up something happening. So our goal today is to clear some of that stuff up. You're going to be involved with Lori. If I am on the buy side, for sure, because she's always my title company that I use for anything when I'm selling properties. If we're a client coming in, there's likely they're going to use you, but maybe there's a couple other, second and third place people in New Smyrna, but they're far second and third place too, Lori. So,
oh, thank you. Where do I send your check?
So question number one, what does the title company do that most buyers and sellers do not realize you do behind the scenes?
Oh, wow. We do a lot. So basically, Florida is a title company closing state. So you have some states that you close with an attorney, but Florida, you close with a title company. And what the title company does is we accept your contract, and then we begin the process of making sure that you have a clear title 30 years back to make sure that the ownership of the property can be transferred free and clear, and then you have your title insurance policy to back that up. We also do a lien search. Suppose you have somebody that's selling a property. Maybe they have a federal tax lien. We see that quite a bit, by the way. Maybe they have an open permit. Maybe they had their HVAC replaced and their contractor the contractor pulled the permit, but they didn't close the permit. So then there's an open permit. You're going to want to get that taken care of. We make sure that there's legal ingress and egress for a property. Some people, and we found this before, have been using a utility easement as their driveway. That's a no-no. So we want to make sure that there's everything about the property, from the survey to liens to any type of encumbrances, are all removed, so you can take ownership of the property and feel good about it and feel like there might not be a problem waiting in the background. We also, if you buy a condo, we work on all the estoppels, which is where we notify the management company, and we're going to need to know, what are the monthly association dues? Are the dues current? Is there any special assessment coming up? We also request a copy of the budgets and the minutes for the buyers so they can feel confident about their purchase, that they are actually getting what they were presented. And that's what we do. So we go through, we do the title search, lien search, make sure the property can be transferred free and clear, and then we prepare all your documents, whether or not you're doing a cash transaction or a finance transaction. We prepare all the documents, we send you the closing statements, we handle all the earnest money deposit, and then we bring you to the closing table. And we can do that remotely through a RON, a remote online notary service. We can do a mail away, or we can do in-person closing, whatever your little heart desires.
Wow, that's a lot of stuff. Okay, can you explain to me and everybody else what the difference between homeowners insurance and title insurance is?
Oh, wow. That's a great question, Matt. What is the difference? Well, title insurance is the assurance of clear ownership on a deed or / title. Title insurance protects you if there's ever a claim against your ownership of the property. Homeowners insurance protects you against any type of damage to your property. Suppose you had a hurricane, suppose you had a flood, suppose you lived on a golf course and somebody hit a golf ball through your window. It helps with the repair of a property. It insures you against damage. Title insurance is the assurance of clear title and deed to the property. Two very different things. And if you'd like, I can give you an example of where title insurance can come in and save the day.
Yeah, please.
Absolutely.
Love stories.
Okay, so for example, suppose you buy this beautiful property and you had a survey completed and you see where your property lines are, you build a Mac Daddy pool, and you want to put up a fence because you want to create some privacy around your oasis. You have the survey. We've issued you title insurance. You go and you put your fence up where the county or the city or where you get your permit says, hey, this is where you can put your fence. You put your fence up. Your neighbor comes over and says, that's my property. And they put a lawsuit on you. You come into my office and you say, hey, Laurie, here's a letter I got from my neighbor that said I built on his property. We take over. We take your survey. We take the attorney information. We've insured your property.
Yeah.
We've insured your title and your deed, and we've insured your survey when you purchase through us. We take over. If there's any legal fees, we take care of them, and we work with the attorneys and we clear up any issue so you can have your fence.
So you save them time and money. They literally
Absolutely.
can just hand it to you, and this is where that comes in.
Absolutely. And I've had a situation where I've had to pay out $19,000 on a fence. But that's why you have title insurance. The assurance.
The assurance. I like that. Okay, Lori, can you tell me, how do you protect out-of-state buyers from fraud? What are some of the things that Fidelity Title does there to protect out-of-state buyers from fraud? Because it's prevalent right now.
Oh, yeah. That's a great question. Well, first of all, if we have somebody come to us and they want to list a property, and they want us to represent them, and they don't have a brokerage involved, immediately somewhat of a red flag. So we do something called a property profile search, and we make sure we've searched 30 years back to make sure that the person that is approaching us is indeed the rightful owner of the property, so they can indeed sell it. Okay, so we make sure they can sell it. Mm-hmm. We make sure they actually own the property. So what if you've got somebody come in and they're like, oh my gosh, I want to buy your land, I want to give you a cash transaction, but I want to close in 3 days. And then they want to give me an earnest money deposit, and they want me to deposit it in 3 days. They want to cancel the contract and they want their money back. That doesn't happen. Number one, whenever we take funds, we only do it 3 different ways, and we do it all through a secure portal. Suppose you put a property under contract and you need to deliver us earnest money deposit. First of all, we get your contact information from you personally or your agent. Then we send out a secured link and we give you the option to deposit your earnest money through our secure portal through a wire. And then we have to call you. We pick up the phone, we give you a call, we confirm wiring instructions with you. Because a lot of times right now, what people are doing, scammers or people that are dishonest, is they'll go online, they'll look at your email, they'll capture an email, they'll see that you're going to purchase a property, and then they're going to try to assume your identity, and they're going to try to contact us, and they're going to try to get our information about how we want our funds wired. We don't do that. We will send them to you on a secure portal, but we will always follow up with you phone call to phone call. we'll do that 2 to 3 times to make sure that we have the proper wiring instructions. You don't feel comfortable with a wire? No problem. We do something called a mobile deposit. Have you ever received a check and you took a picture of it on your phone to deposit it? We do a mobile deposit. We do that securely online. We will send you the link, and then you're able to do your mobile deposit online to our account. And one of my favorite ways we accept and protect your funds is you can walk into my office and you can bring me a paper check.
So these are all things I don't think that people think about on a daily basis,
Right.
or when they're dealing with a real estate transaction, whether they're doing a for sale by owner or they want to sell their property to their friend on their own and avoid real estate agent fees and commissions and things like title insurance fees, that they think that they're all these fees line up, when in fact these are all the things that we're doing behind the scenes to make sure that they're protected all the time.
Absolutely. And we have a lot of people that call us and go, hey, I want to sell my house to my neighbor Joe. And then when we start to get into the process, they have no idea of the intricacies. Honestly, a good realtor is your best defense against everything. Defense against fraud, defense against overpaying, making sure you're represented properly. You just think maybe it's a contract, but there's so many other things. Is there an HOA? What are the rules? What are you allowed to do? Are you allowed to have a fence? Are you allowed to have a pool? Are you allowed to have a pool enclosure? Are you buying a lot? What are the city setbacks? What are you allowed to build? A good realtor guides you through these issues, also guides you through the entire closing process.
And has partnerships also with people like you, with people
Right.
like Faith, with people like, inspectors and things like that to get you through all the difficult times.
Right.
This is already stressful as it is. I mean, it's one of the most stressful things. They say death, divorce, and buying and selling real estate.
Absolutely. And when you have a good relationship with your realtor, like someone like Matt, he and I have a very close personal working relationship. So I know if Matt's calling me, I need to pick up the phone.
And you also know that I'm transparent. You said a
Okay.
couple weeks ago that I hurt your feelings because I said something. I don't remember what it was, but it's very straightforward and very let's
Right.
get to the point, but also be friendly and
Right.
cordial. But
In fact, what I said is he broke my heart, but
I
we're over that now. He broke my heart. But we're okay now.
we're okay now.
We made
She's
up.
here at this Brokers Open, helping me out and helping you guys out too, to answer the tough questions that we come across that people don't know that we come across until they actually are directly in front of us.
And I'd like to add, Matt, that working with reputable realtors, reputable lenders, reputable title companies, anyone in the real estate industry, when you align yourself with a good realtor, they have developed those professional relationships.
Absolutely.
And so whenever they are referring someone to you, you've got the backing of a person that's done many transactions, that's had an experience with that person.
Yeah, I agree. When Faith and I were talking, we were talking about how she knows everybody around New Smyrna, and you do too, and that we see each other. We're talking about, I'm seeing you walk into the beach while I'm showing houses. I'm walking in the office the other day and you're having a meeting out on Canal, and you say hi, like having these relationships and knowing the people that you're working with, and for me to be able to say, okay, listen, Laurie is who's going to be doing our closing. This is great. This is fantastic. Faith is going to be our mortgage broker, that we have relationships, and we're all going to really not put our reputation on the line for somebody that we don't have these kind of relationships with.
And we're always given 110%, but when you have an established relationship with someone that's trusting you with their valuable client, we kind of even want to go more. We want to go above and beyond, because we really want to take care of you and your folks.
Absolutely. So what do you think are some common problems that occurred during the title process with people that are unexpected problems? Maybe whether it be from moving into a beach town or moving into the state of Florida from other states. Just tell me some of the issues that you come across, and are there ways to avoid those things and be proactive?
Well, two of the most common things we see there are open permit, in which we don't close them out, but we help facilitate and put people in the right direction so they can clear up those permits. You can close on a property with an open permit, but most people don't like to. So what we like to do is we like to assist in getting any open permits closed out. So when you purchase the property, you're starting fresh. You don't have anything against the property, a lien, anything against the property that would prohibit you if you went forward to sell.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to take away all the issues. The other issue that we see is a seller won't be forthcoming maybe with some issues that they have. some of those issues may be they have a tax lien. They have a federal tax lien, and it could be for a lot. Like I just had one, it was $54,000. If a person that is selling a property does not have enough equity in a home to be able to sell it while satisfying a lien, that can cause an issue. Or something that we find quite frequently is a property was not deeded correctly through the ownership process. And then us being basically the FBI agents that we are, we have to research that chain of title back. Then we have to put steps in motion to clear the issue on title. And I'd like to give you an example.
Yeah, please.
We had a property that went under contract. 29 years ago, there was a divorce. The property was not properly deeded when the people were divorced. So when we went back 29 years, there was an improper deed, which creates a cloud on title. What do? Well, we got to work. We found the husband, or the no longer husband, from 29 years ago who was living in Croatia.
You found him in Croatia?
We sure did.
Wow.
He was in his 80s. He really didn't speak English. So we located him. We got a translator. We made an appointment at the American consulate. We sent the proper notary through the consulate to redo the deed. And then we figured out the conversion rate from the Croatian money to dollars.
Holy
and we
smokes.
got them paid. The most common things you're going to see is issues from old title that were not properly deeded, which we research and clear up for you so you can close. You see a lot of open permits.
I mean,
we help you
what an incredible amount of work that had to go into just getting somebody the property. And the thing is that the buyers and the sellers hardly ever see the stuff that we do behind the closed doors. They hardly ever see how much we're going through, on one that we dealt with a proprietary lease, like how many things and how much headaches. And I don't have hair anymore. I used to have hair like Lori's before I got into this business. And I don't anymore and all my beard hair is turning gray because of how stressful it is that dealing with all this kind of stuff and going to Croatia and getting an interpreter and figuring out the exchange rate and everything like that. And I bet your clients hardly even knew what you were doing, or at least the buyers probably didn't, all the stuff that you're doing on the back end. It's why it's important to have the good kind of partnerships. Again, partnerships that can speak freely to each other, can see each other at events and wine walks and stuff like that, say hi, give hugs, and know each other's spouses. And so this is the reason why it was important for me to have Lori on, because you guys watch my videos and you know me and you know my personality and you know Rachel, and you guys say all the time, it feels like I know you, but I don't get to know you as much. I want you to know my partners as well. So this is really going out of your way. So thank you, Lori, for that.
Well, I'm happy to do it. And I also want people to know that buying a property and making sure that you could own that property free and clear of any encumbrances is super important to us, because I don't think you're ever going to want to move from New Smyrna Beach because I adore it here. But if there ever is a time when you went to go sell a property that you purchased through Matt and I did your closing, when you go to make that transition, I want it to be so easy for you. There is no cloud on your title. You're set. You're good to go. We should have no problems whatsoever. And that's my goal. So we want to make it look easy.
So what can sellers do then to set up to make the process easier for you?
Well, there's a few things. If you have a trust, I need a copy of your trust. If you unfortunately maybe had a person pass that's on your deed, I'm going to need an original death certificate, and that is something I will return to you at the end of our transaction. If you are selling in a trust or an LLC, you're going to need a bank account in the trust or the LLC, because that's the only way I can issue your funds. Is how the property is deeded, that is how I can issue you your funds. But here's what I will share with you. If you're getting to the point where you do want to sell and you're working with Matt, give me a call. Let's chat. Tell me what your situation is, and then I'll let you know if there's anything I may need, or I might say, hey, you're in a great position. We're ready to go.
So tell me, wasn't a question I was planning on asking, but talking about planning, and I said this with Faith, there's a term in the military, proper planning and prior preparation prevent piss poor performance.
Exactly.
It takes a long time to learn how to say that, but it is true that, you want to make sure that you're set up to the point that when it's time to list and it's time to sell, you want the process to go as quick as possible. Can you tell me, because I'm sure you hear it every day, that how quickly can we close? How quickly can we close? Or we get past maybe the biggest burdens or obstacles that we need to, and we're 3 weeks in and we're supposed to close in 4 weeks. Well, now can we close early? What percentage of deals do you feel like want to close early if all the paperwork is put in place?
99%.
99. So you aren't weird by thinking, hey, can we close it early? Can we get in there fast? Again, why don't you want to move here? I mean, you do. And the thing is, when people come in, especially my viewers, because you're coming in from all over. I mean, I have people just in the last couple weeks from Raleigh, North Carolina, from New Jersey, from Salt Lake City, from Colorado City, just in the last couple weeks come in here, and they're blown away that they can actually afford to live in a beach town. They see, that they found a house that has 360-degree views of the ocean and the intercoastal for $769,000. That they found a 4,000 square foot house in Spruce Creek Flying Community for $800,000. They can't even believe it. And gas is cheap, and there's no state income tax, and they have no idea. They think Florida is just a dream, and it is a dream, but they don't think it's that dream that can become reality. And so I know that, at least in my scenarios, my buyers and my sellers, once we go under contract, how quickly can we get to the closing table?
I can close you in 10 days or less.
10 days or less. And I have to say to my clients all the time, if they're all emergencies, none of them are emergencies, because everybody, it's like, hey, just this time. It's like, if they're all this way, and Lori just said they're 99% this way, then really this is just par for the course for you.
Yeah.
Wanting to close early is something that if they don't want to close early, you're probably surprised.
I am surprised, and I want to close early. So
yes.
if my title and lien search is in and we're all good to go, and the only thing that typically holds us up is if you're buying in an HOA community and we are dependent on the management company to return the estoppel to us. And the estoppel is the assurance that your HOA dues are what they were represented to you when you went under contract, and there's no special assessments, and we have to have the management company basically certify that on the estoppel, so you don't have any surprises once you close. Oh, I was told my monthly dues for $450, now I'm being told they're $550.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing on that, and sometimes that can hold us up, but we can order a rush.
What are the most common delays that you see? Just in general.
Financing, mortgage, lender not being ready to go.
Gotcha.
Like a lender will go, oh, it's no problem. And then...
Not faith, though.
Oh, gosh, no. Faith is never the problem. But a lot of times a lender is working on what's right in front of them that day that they're having to close the next day. So maybe if your closing is 2 weeks out and they've hit a hiccup, maybe they haven't really even looked at it.
Yeah.
And so my suggestion on that end is have a great relationship with your lender. Don't hesitate to call your lender. Give your realtor permission to speak with your lender, because the more people that are calling and facilitating an early close, it facilitates an early close.
We talk a lot about, there's this thing they call a curse of knowledge, where you forget what it's like to not know the information that you know. I always do this game with people where I tap like this and I'm like, what song am I playing? And nobody ever gets it. I think they're going to, but it's just happy birthday. And it's like the easiest thing, but I know what the song is as I'm tapping it, and they don't. So tell me, break it down for me and for our audience. What's the difference between escrow deposits and earnest money?
Okay, well, an escrow deposit is earnest money. It can be called a lot of different things, but in the state of Florida and in our contract, it's stated earnest money deposit.
And people call it escrow, they call it good faith,
Yes,
right?
right.
It's just different things, because I hear different.
Yeah. It has a lot of different names. I call it earnest money, or I call it your earnest money deposit. But when we receive your earnest money deposit, we hold it as a neutral third party. And then whenever we prepare your closing statement, there'll be a credit on your closing statement of the earnest money deposit that you gave us. When you do submit your earnest money deposit or your escrow deposit to us, we do send out an email to your realtor and to you and to your lender, if you have one, that we have indeed received the monies and we are holding it for safekeeping. And then when you come to close, that's when you will see your earnest money deposit or your escrow deposit show up on your closing statement as a credit to you, the buyer.
Gotcha. All right, I have one more question before we have an opportunity to plug you. What's some advice that you would give to a first-time home buyer in Florida?
Well, first of all, I sure hope you can become a first-time home buyer. Get pre-approved. Talk to a lender that understands the intricacies of a first-time home buyer. A lot of times we have younger first-time home buyers. They have student loans. They have car payments. Then they see a house they like. Oh my gosh, I'd like to buy that house. they haven't ever spoken to a lender, they go to get pre-approved, which is going to tell you how much you could actually afford to pay for a home. And they go to get pre-approved and they cry, they have tears in their eyes, like Matt did to me the other day. And because they had no idea that their debt to income is going to have an effect on their borrowing power.
Would you say debt to income is even more important than credit score?
Yes, because you can work on your credit score.
Because Faith was talking about if you're thinking about buying that $1,200 a month truck payment, stay away from it if you're looking for a house. Plus, you don't need it here. We have golf cart life.
Or bike.
Or e-bike. That's the exact same thing that Faith and I were saying.
I'd rather drive my e-bike any day of the week than a car. But just here's what I want to say. Don't be afraid. If you're afraid to talk to a lender, call me. I have a way to kind of pre-qualify you just by taking a little information. Matt has the same capability because he's got my app and it's got a qualifier button on it. So if you just wanted to have a conversation, say, I make a $500 a month payment for my student loan. I had somebody tell me they had a $1,200 car payment the other day. I almost died. But don't max out your credit cards if you're looking to purchase a home. Don't make any unnecessary purchases. See a reputable lender, somebody that you know, like, and trust. If you don't have anybody in your wheelhouse, Matt does.
Yeah.
I do. Make sure that you're working with a lender that has access to all the first-time home buyer programs that are out there. There's money to be given to you as a first-time home buyer. I had a gentleman come in 2 weeks ago and close in a first-time home buyers program. He brought, guess how much he had to bring to closing?
How much?
$0.
Oh my gosh.
So don't be scared.
People don't know that. They don't expect that either.
They don't, right.
They're coming, they're buying in Florida, which they think is
Right.
already going to be too expensive for them anyway, especially in a beach town. And then they come and their first time home buyer coming with $0 at closing. I mean, how amazing is that? But I do want to plug your app though for a minute because I use it all the time. You guys think that we need these really complicated, and maybe, I don't know when the app came out, but maybe 5 or 10 years ago, unless you were an MBA and knew how to use Excel spreadsheets the right way, you couldn't figure out what your monthly payment was going to be unless you already were pre-approved and had the amount and you didn't know until your first payment was due. Now with Lori's Fidelity app, I'm on there all the time and I'm telling people as we're looking at houses, let me tell you how much this would cost. With this much money down, and let's say I negotiated at this price, this is what your payments are going to be. I can tell them almost to the dollar, depending on the day that we're closing, of course, and be able to show that to them. So if that's something you want to know, it's a simple text message. I mean, it's not complicated. Fidelity has that, and I know that you push it and promote it all the time.
It's my favorite thing because not only, Matt, you're out and about doing it, and you think, oh, well, it's probably just good if you are a cash buyer. Cash, conventional. Any percentage down or dollar amount down, we can put that in for conventional. FHA, VA, USDA. So the app has every loan that you can get. Everything is customizable. So what I share with people is if you don't know, ask us.
Yeah.
That's what we're here for.
And I will say, it doesn't matter jack squat to me if you're cash, conventional, VA, like it doesn't matter. There's no preferential treatment. I'm a professional and you're a professional, and everybody, whether they're buying a $250,000 home or $25 million home, is going to be treated the same way, and I couldn't care less if it's cash, conventional, VA, anything like that. Now, if you want to buy a $25 million cash home, please pick up the phone and call me. My number's right here below. Lori will definitely close that deal for us. But there is no difference. Like for us, the processes are the same. The lien searches are the same. Everything that we're doing to get to closing is exactly the same.
Everything is the same. And if I'm going to be quite honest, the $30,000 vacant land contracts for young people that never thought they could own anything, and they're going to buy this vacant piece of land and they're going to put a manufactured home on to start, and then they're going to build their dream home. Like for me, it feels so good to help someone realize ownership of property, whether it be a vacant land or that $25 million oceanfront, because you might just be buying a small little piece of vacant land right now, but there may be a day that you're buying that oceanfront estate.
Different stages of life for different people.
And having good representation and good people behind you for any transaction, the smallest to the largest, is the key to success.
Yeah, representation that's reputable as well, right? You know, you can ask anybody in town that's in this business, you know who the good agents are, you know who the bad agents are, you know who the good titles are, you know who the bad titles are, and which ones to stay away from. So, Lori, is there anything that you want to do? I thank you so much for coming on and helping educating the viewers. Is there anything that you want to plug for yourself or Fidelity or anything at all?
No, I just, my passion is bringing people to property ownership. again, either vacant land or a home. I'm extremely passionate about that. So I'm sure Matt's going to put my contact information up. If you have any questions about anything, give me a call. I would love to help you.
Yep. Listen, we get phone calls, text messages, Zoom invites every day from people like you, and I'm not playing around. I literally say all the time to people, when they call me, when they text me, when they email me, when we get on Zooms, I get phone calls, emails, text messages, Zoom invites every day from people just like you wanting to move to the beach. So whether that be in 2 days, 20 days, or 200 days, please don't hesitate to reach out. Again, my name is Matt Ekoff. This is Lori Rochelle. Thank you so much. Until next time, see you later. Bye-bye.
Come to New Smyrna.